Hello and welcome to another Clubs and Corks Golf podcast. Luke Taylor here, Ben Curtis.
Did the wave.
We're back.
We're back.
Kind of an eventful Father's Day.
Yeah, it was. Did you have a good one?
So we did some. Melissa asked me, "What do you want to do today?" And I said, "Well, I really want to weed. Or do you want to go to the pool?" I'm like, "Let's weed." Because here's the thing: on Father's Day, you kind of have to listen to your father, right? So if your dad says, "Hey, please help," you would think. And I think they helped a total of
5 minutes.
No, they did a little bit more than that. It was good.
That's good.
We heft, man. 25
did you
bags.
Catch them like wandering off? And
no, it's like the bags
they
all
do
of a sudden.
the slow walk away.
Yeah, they
and
do.
You're like, where are you going?
Yeah.
Oh, I need a drink. Okay.
Yeah, and then never come back out.
Yeah.
It's kind of bullshit, but whatever. But we watched some golf yesterday. We're going to talk
Nice.
a little U.S. Open.
Yeah, U.S. Open.
That was kind of fun.
It was a good tournament, yeah.
My favorite comments are the people on Facebook saying, "Now I feel better. Now they know how I play." It's like, dude, they shot a 76. You shot 106.
Yeah. Well, and they still.
I kind of love that.
They still had 8-10 guys under par, or 12 guys under par. So it wasn't like they were shooting real high. It was just very, very difficult. So
it's a crazy tournament too.
It was, yeah.
Well, why does the U.S. Open, it seems like, make the course so difficult?
Well, as you could tell, I mean, the rough was up. Fairways are somewhat narrow. Long golf course, especially there. And, firmness, so that, when McIlroy won, he won at 12, 15 under, but it rained all week. So it's just real soft. And, when it gets like that, you can fire at the pins, whereas yesterday, those greens are a lot of slope. They sit up. It's just an extremely tough golf course, especially in those conditions, and there was hardly any wind too. And that's
which is crazy because it's right on the ocean,
right? And it's normally that way. I mean, I've been there a bunch of times in February. It's just a little bit cooler.
Yeah,
but,
that's what you're saying. It's like freezing.
Yeah, but I mean, you get that fall come in and stuff, and played the Open there in '08 too, and it was kind of it would warm up in the afternoon, but you're wearing a sweater in the morning. So, but it's just a really hard golf course, and there's really no, I think one hole was under 400 yards was number 2, right? But it's still, if you don't hit the fairway, the green's probably one of the slopiest on the course. If you don't hit the shot in the proper area, it becomes really difficult. So there's just no easy holes out there, and it can come up and get you at any time.
Yeah.
But fair. I mean, it's not and I think that's, the scores were kind of close together because other than a few holes, you didn't see too many big numbers. Most of it was struggle, make a bogey. At the worst was double. There was no big numbers. So
I know what can come out and get you at any time.
What? You?
Yeah. I couldn't believe, you look at, first of all, I noticed it looks like Brooks Koepka and Ricky Elliott shaved.
I didn't see them play Sunday because by the time we got home, because we were at my parents, we had breakfast.
Yeah, it's called Father's Day. I get
Father's Day, and then we drove and went watch our nephew play. So we didn't get home till about 6 o'clock. So he was basically done.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to see.
I think
much.
he did. Maybe they both listen to the Clubs and Corks Golf podcast.
Yeah. We are two wise men.
Yes. I ate the third.
We set trends, we
do. I don't know what trends we set. But we set it. What about Bryson DeChambeau? I felt bad for him. Look at Mackenzie Hughes.
Yeah.
Kent State guy, fellow Canadian.
Right. I mean, obviously at that point the pressure maybe, but DeChambeau, didn't you stand on 11 or 10 with the lead, right? Or 11 with the lead?
I think so, yeah. Or 9. The turn. He was a leader,
10 through 10 I saw. Yeah. He was in the lead.
He got 8 on a hole.
Or 5 or 6 under, and then it just exploded on him. So it's hard to tell. He obviously, I think when he hit it in the hazard on 17, it was kind of like, all right, this is enough.
Yeah.
It looked like he was just trying to hit and run, you know, more than just, let's just get this thing over. Because he hit that shot just over the bunker, then he shanked that shot, and it went over by 18. It was
I've never done any shots before.
No. Yeah, but it might have been just get me out of here mode at that point. But because, defending champ, a lot of pressure, dealing with that. Same with Mackenzie Hughes, obviously being a Kent Stater, and, we were rooting for him hard. And, Canadian, but.
Yeah, I was rooting for him.
I know you were. But he's a great guy, great kid. He's got a lot of talent.
He's a kid, man. He's young. He's like half our age.
He's 30, probably.
Or is he 30? He looks like he's like, who he looks so young is
he's
Matthew
gotta be 30.
Fitzpatrick.
I mean, he's been out of school 7, 8 years now. So
Yeah. Has Matthew Fitzpatrick hit puberty yet?
I don't know.
Does he look so young? He's like
does.
32.
Yeah.
He's the nicest guy ever. I've met him a couple times. I mean, it's more than hi, how are you?
Could you understand him with his deep Irish accent?
He's British.
No,
Or he's Scottish.
I think he's Irish.
I don't think he's Irish.
I think he is.
Yeah. Well, that's the motherland. My mom's
Get
from
your
out
phone
there.
out. Mine's in the.
I don't have mine. I keep it in the other room. It's the last time I kept it in here, my
Wait.
mom called me. Yeah, look at the flags. Did he
make
even
the
play?
cut?
Yeah, you got it all
Yeah,
there.
he made a cut.
I think he's British. His teeth look British.
Oh, maybe he is.
Yeah.
I thought he was Irish.
Yeah. No, I think he's British.
He hangs out with all the Irish guys.
Well, they all do. Yeah, but they all do. But he's I always like Matt Fitzpatrick. What did you think? Okay, so what position? Because you've obviously played in majors and you've supposedly done okay in a couple of them, one more than others. But where do you want to be on that final day? Do you want to be in the lead? Like you look at like a Russell Henley. You look at who did really well under the radar was Harris English.
Well, but that's like you look at the leaderboard here, and like a couple of those guys, like there's really not much pressure for them, right? Like I remember playing in a few where like Pebble Beach, for example, I made the cut on the number, played decent Saturday, played really well Sunday, and jumped into the top 15. And that was, there's no pressure at that point. Right. And so for a lot of these guys, it's not like, I mean, obviously Harris is still chasing his first major and stuff like that. But at the time, you got to think like, 3 under might had a chance, but he was probably thinking he had to get 4, 5, 6, somewhere in that range. But so you can play a little more freely. You can be more aggressive, and you kind of get in that groove, and then you don't feel the pressure. Some of those, like DeChambeau. He played really well at the front. I think he was 2 or 3 under and got into the lead, and then all of a sudden he probably started to feel the pressure. At first he probably didn't feel it, and then all of a sudden you get it. Like a guy like Mackenzie Hughes, sleeping in overnight, trying to get your first major.
He was sleeping in?
Well, sleeping on the lead.
Oh, I thought you meant sleeping in, like you
well,
physically
he did.
slept
He
in.
could probably.
Didn't Rory sleep in once?
Well, that was for the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? But it wasn't that. I mean, it was still like a morning tea time.
Yeah.
But sleeping on the lead is very difficult to do, especially going in for a major. Like when I finished second at the PGA up at Oakland Hills in 2008, we had to play 36 holes on Sunday. So I didn't really sleep on the lead.
Yeah.
Even though I was in the final group starting, or not. Was I in the final group? No, I was not. Starting the round, then they repaired. And I remember I had a few hours between, and I just stood in the locker room and waited till till my team, because I played 18, and then
don't you think that's kind of weird, just standing in the locker room?
Well, I was laying down on the benches.
Oh, okay. Because like standing in the locker room would be creepy if guys are trying to change or shower and you're just standing there.
It was just too far to go back to the house,
right.
which was 20, 30 minutes or whatever.
Right.
Go back, and I think we checked out anyway, so I can't really remember those details, but I remember just like I had lunch and kind of hung out in there, and then had a little bit more to eat, then just did a quick warm-up because I already played and stuff. So, it was a little bit easier to deal with. And then I only had maybe a couple hours of butterflies, and once you get out there, you usually go. But, I feel bad for people like Mackenzie, what happened to him yesterday, and it happens to us all. Like I've been there where we've had the lead or close to the lead heading into the final day, and you kind of...
Well, like you look at Russell Henley, he's never been a top 10 in a major, and he missed a putt, and he went like 8 slots down. Like I think he was tied for 7th, so I think he became like he was like 18th
it was
place.
really jammed there for a while, too.
It was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I looked at, I think there was 13 guys within 2 shots of the lead at one point. So, but then again, that's where the people coming from behind had a little bit of pressure, no pressure, so they kind of climbed the leaderboard. And then you had the guys at the top kind of struggling a little bit. And obviously, like Oosthuizen and that, I mean, they kind of separated themselves from second place there with 4 or 5 holes to go. So it was up to them too. So.
Yeah, Oosthuizen's like hanging around like stink because he did well at the PGA Championship.
Finishing. Well, that was his second place finish, runner-up finish in a major.
What do they say? Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
It was like Phil, right? I mean, he's won, or that's his tournament. He hasn't won yet to create to win the Grand Slam. Or to complete the Grand Slam, and obviously that's the one event he wants to win to get that. But he had multiple runner-up, maybe 5,
He was
6s.
creeping on the trophy yesterday
with John.
Yeah,
I saw him hanging around.
Yeah,
there.
he was creeping on. I think he was trying to get the trophy. He's trying to be all nice to, Mrs. Rahm and the new baby and stuff. And all he was thinking about, I'm getting that hardware.
Yeah.
Because technically he gets a piece of it because he's an Arizona Stater, a Sun Devil. Right?
Well, I didn't know that. I saw that at the very end that he's the second Sun Devil to win a major. As good of a golf program they have, it's hard to believe that Phil was the only other one to win a major. But
that would have been like
John
Mackenzie Hughes.
Huh?
That would have been like Mackenzie Hughes who could have closed it.
Yeah, but you think of Arizona State, right? I mean, they've had so many great players go through that program. Same with Kent State, but it's hard to believe that a school like that would only have one major winner.
That's surprising.
Yeah, but look at Jon Rahm, how he finished. I mean, he played the best on the back nine, and that's why he ended up winning.
Let's be honest, okay? In the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, someone's going to walk out to him when he was hitting the practice range because he was probably shitting his pants and excited on the 18th hole when Oosthuizen was supposed to finish up. Wouldn't that be funny? I mean, this is really cruel, but people are thinking, wouldn't that be funny if two guys came up to him and said, hey, we got to talk. You tested positive for COVID. We're just joking.
Oh, that would have been.
Surprise.
That would have been
That would have been awful. I know I'm a cold son of a bitch, but whatever. But can you imagine that happen? Like April Fool's.
Well, it kind of happened at Memorial.
Yeah. They showed it again. I was like, come on, stop showing that. I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah. And my whole thing with that thing was, I know we talked about it, but it's just, why couldn't they wait until he got inside?
Yeah, you don't need cameras.
Why they had to do it?
Ratings, man. Ratings. It's all about ratings.
Oh, man, it was.
You can see what I'm going to do for this show.
Poor guy
just to get ratings.
He's thinking he's got a 6-shot lead going in the final round and all this. To next thing you know, oh, by the way, you got COVID.
Well, let me ask you this. So if he would have won, I think he won the Memorial. I'm going to send him a little trophy because that's what I can afford.
Can you sign this flag?
Yeah. But here's the thing. Do you think if he would have won the Memorial, he would have played as well and would have won that tournament? I know that's kind of it's all subjective and stuff like that. But from your expertise playing at that level,
I mean,
because his mind state's probably different.
It could be, but I mean, he obviously was more hungry and more determined, I would say, for the U.S. Open than if he just won. But also, he's had success. He won at Torrey Pines, so he feels really comfortable there. Obviously, his game's good anywhere, but sometimes certain places just you feel better about than other places and other courses. So, yeah, it's hard to say, but it's hard to win back to back, right? I mean, think about all the U.S. Opens, all the majors. How many times do you see a guy repeat? It happens very rarely. So the guys are just too good, right? There's too much that can go wrong. Even Jon Rahm heading into the final round, he was talked about, but he wasn't the main focus, right? Mm-hmm. You had a lot of guys in front of him, but kudos to him. Those 2 putts he made on 17
Holy shit.
and 18.
Big time players did big time plays.
He seems to make those long putts to win tournament. He did it. Was it the World Golf Championship?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah, Ryder Cup too. That guy, you know what I love about him? I think fatherhood will help him kind of maybe chill out a little bit because he gets pretty fiery. He's Spanish, Espanol. But those 2 putts, the first one I'm like, holy shit. The second one, I was ready to run through a wall from that guy.
Yeah. Well, it's just
a beast.
And so this is great to know for all you guys. Yes, he could. I know there was a couple of boos I heard when he kind of chipped out to the right, but he did the smart thing and gave himself a chance, right? And last thing he would want to do is tack that pin and the ball hits and scoots and goes over the hill and down in the water, or 30, 40 feet away, because there's probably no chance of him to hold it there, right? Especially where he was in the bunker. And that just shows you the discipline he has, and to understand that, hey, maybe I can make this 20-footer if I just hit over here. I mean, he did it the hole before. I mean, at least he gave himself a chance and didn't blow it by just doing something stupid, so to speak. And so, it just shows you how much discipline he has. And he didn't even think about it, right? He just got in there and he just hit it right away, like understanding that I'm not even. The more I think about it, he probably would have aimed towards the pin, right? But he put it in a position where he figured 500 he would still have a really good chance, right? With Oosthuizen playing, I think he still was on 15 at the time, so he still had 4 holes left. Now anything could have happened, but clutch putts, and the best thing I was telling my son, I said, watch on both those putts. Watch how still he was, even after the ball left the putter.
Yeah, they even said that. I think Azinger said that.
Well, Azinger said watch his head when he putted, right? But then he even mentioned the posture, right? And it's just that ball is a foot away before he starts to realize it's going in, and he starts to move out of his position. I mean, hit it, holds it. He didn't move, a flicker.
Yeah.
It was just holding, and then boom. But you watch. So if anything you can pick up from what they do, just, those two things I point out where, hey, be smart with your shot, just get it on the green, right? And then give yourself a chance, and then just, be really disciplined with the small things in golf. And that's the difference between them and like somebody that's like a scratch golfer or just an amateur.
Or someone like my level or worse. You hit a great putt like that, and then you get to the tee box and you frickin' put it out of bounds.
Well, I mean,
that's what you go from like here. You're like adrenaline. It's like and then it's like, it's like shit. I better re-hit it, or I'll just drop from there.
You get so excited.
Worst feeling in the world.
Yeah. Well, I've been there.
It's like a kid in a candy store.
I've done that.
It's like
you make birdie and then throw 2 bogeys in a row or hit one out of bounds.
Yeah.
You say, and you're just like,
yeah. Wonk, wonk,
That's
wonk.
why you guys one shot at a time, right?
Yeah. So I found a couple interesting things. So Oosthuizen, they were saying that he likes to watch the scoreboard. Were you kind of a scoreboard watcher, or you just...
Not until the very end, because you want to know what you need to do or what you should do, right? If you got a 4-shot lead, you're not going to be like Rahm. Was I surprised he went for it? Yes and no, but at the same time, it's like if he was up by 2, there's no way he would have hit his second shot where he did on 18. Like, he would have never gone for it. But he had to figure Oosthuizen wasn't, you can't rely on somebody to falter, right? Like, he can't sit there and say, I'm going to lay up.
Unless you're Thomas Bjorn.
Well, but he just hit 2 bad bunker shots.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it wasn't.
But isn't that crazy how 1 or 2 shots can change everything? It's anything in life, right?
Well, it makes you think, right? I mean, and jonrahm probably, once he got up there, like, he's like, I'm going for it. I think they even mentioned that, I think his cat Adam said, it's just a perfect 4-iron, right? Just hit it, and so there was no second guessing. And, he didn't, even the caddy didn't go, oh, you should lay up and just, hit it to 100 yards, and then you're a good wedge player, hit it to 10 feet and give ourselves a chance to make birdie. But, there was no second guessing. When you get to that point, you can't really second guess. So that's why I like watching because if I didn't know, I might be like, well, should I just lay up here and just, instead of hitting the shot that I would normally hit if I was just playing around the golf. And so sometimes, backpedaling and doing the smart thing, sometimes when you're in those situations, may not be the right choice. But you just got to know when to attack, when not to. But yeah, so like, I mean, obviously, other than his tee-ball on 17, that's where he really lost it. But it wasn't, just a physical mistake, right? That's going to happen. So, and the ball landed in the fairway, so it wasn't like it was that bad of a shot.
No.
It's just a little bit unfortunate, but a little bit of, just wrong direction. But, he had a good putt on 17 where it just didn't fall, and then obviously 18. But, yeah, so I think you got to know where you're staying.
Yeah.
Especially at that point.
Yeah. Let's go into the miracle of wine capturing a special time and place finds its essence in the Muir Cabernet Sauvignon Schweitzer Vineyard. Even before Jim Bear Dyke and Gustavo A. Gonzalez founded Mira, they dreamt of making a definitive Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon from this premier Grand Cru vineyard, first planted in 1885 in the heart of the Stags Leap District. The Schweitzer family devotes incredible care in their stewardship of the land and the fruit it yields, making them ideal partners in Mira's quest for pure expressions of vineyard and varietal. The Mira Cabernet Sauvignon vineyard. Pour yourself a miracle. I love that part.
Yeah, every time he gets longer and longer.
That's what she said. So
no, yeah. Did you have any wine on Father's Day, by the way?
I did.
Nice.
I had wine Friday night. I had a member match. I pulled strained a muscle in my left shoulder in the back under the shoulder blade. Played through it. Won it with a putt. I putted it in on the 19th hole to win it.
Yeah.
I had 5.5 glasses of wine Friday night, and even if we would have lost, I still would have had 5.5 glasses of wine. And it felt good. I wasn't hungover Saturday, and then Saturday night we had sangria. I make good sangria. If you ever invite me over, I'll bring sangria.
I had some at a grad party Saturday.
Yeah, no, but this is Luke Taylor sangria. Like I put vodka in it too. Mm-hmm. And then last night I had a glass of what I didn't finish on Friday night.
Nice.
You?
Just a little bit Saturday, but
Yeah.
none yesterday actually.
We grilled some steaks last night. I grilled in the rain. Isn't that a shocker? Yeah. Like it was downpouring. Just shorts on, just grilling. That's why I roll, baby.
Little waterlogged steaks.
Yeah. No, it's good. No, I've got a cover on the steak. I got a cover on the barbecue. I ain't that pathetic. So, a couple things.
No.
What I loved was all the damn parachuters. You see the parachuters?
Hey, right. It's right by 12 green.
Would that
jump off the cliff?
Yeah, would that bother you? Like you're trying to play, or does your cat, like, does Ricky say to you, or your caddies ever say to you, hey, aim toward that guy, but he's freaking moving. How do you aim toward him, right?
Yeah, just hit it now. But no, I mean, I remember they were always there. You see him jumping off the cliff right there.
Yeah.
Right next to 12. So it's just kind of a little entertainment when you're not hitting. But you don't see, I mean, I'm sure some guys kind of get bothered by it. But
yeah.
I mean, it never affected me because they're not my way. I'm not going to hit them.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Like you're just sitting there watching them jump off and just kind of take a little run, start, and jump off. Hope this thing works. Yeah.
Oh, you see this guy go foomp like that?
They do. They kind of go, and it's just like, whoosh, and then you see it catch, and then.
Have you ever thought about doing that when you're not playing?
No. Hell no. No jumping out of airplanes.
Yeah, me neither. Because I know someone would try to screw with me.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
So one of our Patreon supporters, if you haven't joined our Patreon page, you definitely need to. Got some great stuff on there. We're eventually going to put tips with Ben on there too. We'll get to that maybe in the next 2 or 3 years. Ron Stanley
keep your head down.
Yeah, keep your head down and shut up.
Keep your eye on the ball. No.
Well, that's a good one. Ron Stanley asked, he was paying attention to bunker play, which would have been Saturday. No, maybe it was Sunday. Seems to be two types of bunker shots. One where the ball is just clipped, and another where there's a sand explosion shot. I like explosion. Any general rules when to use each of these bunker shots?
Well, so probably when they're taking less sand, they're trying to get more spin on the ball. When they're taking more sand or big chunks of sand, it's more of a hit and run. So it's kind of generally, but some of it could just be a physical mistake.
Yeah.
Maybe just got a little too close to it. They're trying to nip it, and they just get a little too close. Everybody's differently. If you notice how some people
Everybody's differently. Is that a word? Everybody's different.
Everybody's different.
There
Where
go,
they
sorry.
get
Kent State.
Yeah. Everybody, some people get real low, right? And so when you get lower, you kind of nip it a little bit more. Some guys that stand up get a little bit closer to the ball, kind of get steeper, kind of hit down into it more and create more sand, so to speak. It's just because they're going straight up and down. It's kind of like when you hit a full swing, right? Guys that get real steep, big chunks of divots. Guys that are more shallow and lower, kind of, clip it more. So it's just that. So I think a little bit of depending on what they're trying to do, what kind of shot they're trying to hit.
So the closer the hole to the sand, the more sand you want to take, or not necessarily.
If the pin's closer to you, you're probably less sand, right? And
less sand.
Where you try to create spin, right? Closer you hit to the ball, the more spin, but then you also you can get into the point where, blade it or hit it too hard.
Go
or
from
too
sand
far.
to sand.
So it's a
Yeah.
little bit of both. I
Yeah.
mean, and obviously everybody, like I said, everybody's style is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always try to take as much sand as I could, get steep on it, swing as hard as I can, even if the pin was short. Try to pop it up as best I can, you know. So it just depends, how much bounce you got in your club, how much the face is open. The more open it is, the less sand it's going to look like it takes, too.
Mm-hmm.
The less open it is, going to get more face on the sand, so it's going to look like it hits more sand.
Yeah. I hate when the commentators say, oh, that was a great shot. The guy's got to hit like a 45-foot putt. You know how they'll say, like,
Well-
I know you're playing, but like for a guy like me, if I hit that shot, automatic 2 or 3 putt.
Yeah, but, I mean, sometimes the best you can do is
Right.
hit it to that.
Yeah.
Right? Especially in those tournaments like U.S. Open and you're just in the rough, pins on the right, and you got 10 feet of green to work with and you're 140 yards away. I mean, you're not even looking at the pin, right? You're looking towards the left side of the green, and a good shot could be 40, 50 feet away or
Right.
just short in the rough, right? Like I did remember seeing yesterday Oosthuizen on 16 or 15. I mean, the commentator, he missed the green, but said it was a great shot. He left it in the appropriate place. He didn't have that difficult of a 2-putt, even though he's just off the green. Possibly could make it because he was within 30-some feet. But, the worst thing he could have done was hit it to the right in the bunker where he had no chance up and down, or, long and left where, very difficult 2-putter or chip. So, you just got to understand those situations. So,
Yeah.
very rarely are you just right at the pin every
Yeah.
time, right? It's
That's how I roll.
right. That's why you're 7 or 8 instead of a 3 or 4.
Keeps going up. No, I get it.
So if you just, okay, I'll hit it to 20 feet left of the pin. If I push it a little bit and I hit it good, it goes right next. Great. If not, if I pull it, I'm still okay. If not, I got a 20-footer.
Yeah.
Make 25% of those, and 1 out of 4, move on.
What do you think about them getting rid of the greens books?
I think it'd be good. I think it'd help speed up play a little bit.
You think so?
Become more natural. More. Some of those, that's all they rely on. That.
Yeah.
They don't even really read it. They're just looking at the book and know, it's 2 inches outside
Really?
of the, based on their pace.
How much did you use it?
I used it a little bit, just more of like I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to rely on what I saw, versus what the book said.
But if you're saying it's going to speed up play, if you don't have the book, now you got to read it a little bit more, and you might overanalyze it, or not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Some guys are reading it and looking at the book. Like DeChambeau looks like.
Oh yeah, I mean he's he's like reading a War and Peace on his. He just studies that like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, he's probably Googling on Google Earth right now,
Yeah.
looking at it from every angle.
Yeah.
No, but I think it'll just help with it. It kind of takes the feel out of the game, right? With the books, right? Golf is a lot of feel. So they'll probably end up doing is drawing their own books.
Oh,
So
really?
I don't know what the rules are with that. Like, can you make your own, or is it just obviously if you have a yardage book, right? And all the yardage books, like I used to draw arrows and stuff, So obviously they can still do that. But as far as the green book, which is in detail from basically 1-foot grids, and so you can see basically every foot of the green what the slope's doing, and it has degrees on there, it has numbers. It depends on the type of book you have. Like the one would have like arrows plus numbers, and then the other ones would have how close together the arrows were. The closer they were together, the more slope there was.
So do you think the Caddies Union got together and said, like, we don't want this to happen because now we're going to have to work harder?
I don't think so.
Well,
Now they will.
Someone's going
but
to have
it's
to
a
work
good
more.
point. They will have to work harder, but I mean,
You just said I made a good point.
you did.
Thank you.
But
Working for that 20 episodes in.
I think those caddies are still doing it anyway.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I think a guy like DeChambeau, his caddy's still out there marking the greens. They got those little discs they put out there, and
You think he's doing that right now?
for what?
Just the tournament, just so he can get ready for next year's Farmers.
No,
No,
he's
okay.
not there. I mean, if anything, he might be. Where is it? Where are they going? Hartford.
Travelers.
Yeah,
Hartford.
yeah. So he could be
Hartford.
there doing it.
Hartford.
I don't know if he's playing or not.
The
But
Whalers. I think he is. And then he's playing Rocket Mortgage.
he won that last year.
I know. Well, he's sponsored by Rocket Mortgage, too.
Have you noticed? Do you think he's hitting it as far as he was a year ago?
No.
I don't think he is.
No.
It looks like he's trying like hell,
No.
but he can't.
Well, did you see the one? His 13th hole. He almost fell on his. His back foot slipped. His drives. I think it was 11, 12, and 13, or 12, 13, and 14. I mean, he was just all over the place. And that's a tough golf course. That seems like a tight golf course.
Pretty tight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your landing spots are pretty narrow, but it just doesn't seem like he's hitting it nearly as far as.
He's got the farthest drives though on the tour still. It just doesn't seem as far.
But the one like I saw on, was it Friday or Saturday, number 2 or something, like he swung out of his shoes, but I think he almost missed it because it only carried like 282. I'm like, he swung so hard, but the ball only went 282 in the air. I'm like,
do you think he's ever swung so hard that he just missed the ball? I've done that.
yeah, I saw that video of yours. Yeah, you showed me.
No, that one.
At Bandon.
No, I hit it. It just,
Yeah, you almost didn't hit it though.
I did.
But you didn't swing that hard.
No, my back goes on, steroids
still
and
almost
muscle
missed
relaxers. Yeah. But I mean, he swings. You look at these guys now, they're like violent when they swing. And then Jon Rahm barely brings his club head back. It's all like, I mean,
but he still creates a shoulder turn, right?
But is that something he's going to be able to maintain 20 years from now?
I think so.
Really?
I think so. DeChambeau, I don't know.
Do you think
It's going to be interesting with all these guys, their bodies, what they're like. Even Rory. I mean, even though Rory's looks a little more graceful because he stays in balance a little bit and he holds his finish. But still, I mean, the amount of torque and speed that he's creating on there is just. Look at Tiger, right?
Yeah.
Look at.
Well,
I mean, think about all the issues he's had with his body, right?
Yeah.
Was it because he was violent for a long time?
yeah.
With just holding the head really still and just, his head go up and down, but it wouldn't go this way.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it'll be interesting to see,
Yeah.
And it does the workouts, the heavy workouts have something to do with it because Tiger was, big workout guy, trained with the SEALs or whatever. And, and did that or that type of training, did that.
Yeah.
And then you add in the golf part of it. Because what the golf swing does isn't really great for our backs, right?
No.
For our bodies.
Tell me about it.
So.
That's crazy. The funniest thing I heard was a guy got into the golf tournament
I saw
with
a
a
video
club and like 3 or 4 balls, and he was hitting.
No shirt, but he had some kind of like tape, like I don't get if it was it was like taped.
Velcro.
Well, it was like a flag or something, like a rainbow flag or something on it, like a cape or some sort, but it had like the rainbow colors on it. It was really weird. I saw the video. Somebody sent it.
I haven't seen it yet. I gotta see that.
Yeah.
So did he just drop some ball? Was he hitting out of the sand trap?
I don't know where he came from, but the video I saw looked like he came from the opposite side of where the fans were.
Yeah.
Because it looked like the cliffs were on the other side. So I don't know if he like climbed the hill or something. He just threw the balls and started whacking. He whacked 2. The police came and they were kind of walking up to him.
Yeah,
and then he swings another one. He throws his hands up in the air like celebration, does a dance, and then he like takes off running from him. And then all you see is a cop car with a golf cart, security or cop or whatever, come in. He slams on the brake, jumps out, and like clotheslines the guy.
Oh, really?
And then twists him, throws him down on the ground.
Greatest place to make a statement's a PGA Tour event, it seems like.
Yeah. Well, like,
did he have a ticket?
Like there was always a ladies at the British Open. Remember that? If you came out with no shirt, like
ladies,
braless, just come out running, big old
boobies,
and just
you can say it,
just bouncing everywhere as she's running. And there's a tiger, and it happened at St. George's, I believe.
Yeah. Did it happen when you were playing there?
Not in my group.
You were disappointed.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll happen this year.
I had Stinson take his pants and shirt off. They had a shot out of the water. And he's
You
his
were in that
tighties.
group?
Yeah, I was in that group in
Really?
Miami. So that's what I got. I didn't
Yeah.
get the.
What'd you think?
Well, it was hard to see because he was over a hill. He was taking a while. And then, so we were like, what the? Because it was like, was it number 3? I think it was. Around the water at Doral. And like, I forget who we were playing with. And we hit our shots. We're kind of waiting. And my cat, Andy, and the other cat, he went up. We're just standing there. And I'm like, so we just kind of walked over, looked over the hill, and there he was. Putting his pants back on. And
Have you ever done that?
I've hit out of the water like that, but I left my clothes on.
Yeah. I've taken my
There's
pants
nothing
off.
under here to really see that's worth.
I take my pants off.
I
all
just
the time.
remember because Stenson, he got a lot of slack but the sponsors loved it.
Yeah.
I think the tour was going to fine him, but
Really?
yeah, because of code of conduct or whatever. But the sponsors were like, if you do, we're going to pay for it because that was awesome. They got more hits for that than they did for
What type of
any
boxers does he wear?
Oh, they're just real tight.
Did they have a logo on them?
No, I can't remember.
I bet you he's
Had
got
a brown stain on the back. No,
Oh, that's awful. Come on, man.
no I don't.
Oh,
remember.
that's cold. Little Swedish meatball marking. So last question I have for you.
He was just so nervous playing with me that he.
Yeah, obviously shot himself. Shocker. I can see that happening. So this happened to you at the British Open when you won it. What is going through Jon Rahm's head when because he always think of it's like when you walk down the 18th, they're cheering and stuff. He's in the lead. Usually you like to win it putting in the hole, you stop, people run out. A little bit different for him. What is going through his mind through all that? Like what was going through your mind?
Everything's racing, right? Time is going really slow, but your mind's going 1,000 miles an hour. And everything's just like, oh, what happened? Or what was this? But every noise you hear was like, was that it? Or but what's going through your head? It's like, okay, I need to prepare for a playoff. Oh, what am I going to do if I win? Or, how are you going to react? Or, what's the party going to be like at home? But then you catch yourself, no, okay, I got to, stay in the moment and stuff. So,
how much are you thinking please miss, just miss? I don't mean to be mean, Lord God, but just shank it.
Yeah, I mean,
you're thinking that, right?
Oh yeah, you're thinking.
Oh yeah,
miss it.
Yeah, no, you're thinking
don't
that.
go in. I mean, but yeah, it's a tough thing to deal with. Luckily, I only had to deal with that once. The other 3 wins are, it's kind of in the final group, so made it a little bit easier. But yeah, it hits. When it probably. Obviously, when he won, he knew how big that putt was. And then you kind of reflect on it when you're in the scorer's tent. You're in there getting your card, and you're just like because they have TVs in there, so you're watching.
They do.
You see it.
Do you have any food, like any popcorn or Doritos or?
No, there's
Be
usually
nice.
there might be a station off to the side.
What about a beer?
No. Locker room.
They have beer in the locker room?
Sundays. Yeah.
Really? What kind of beer is it? Is it good? Is it yummy?
Whatever you want.
Yeah. Really? Do you think Koepka really drinks Michelob?
It was funny because when I went up for Herb's inauguration into the Canadian Golf Hall of Fame,
I want to get there.
we went to the house. I went to see Ricky, and Brooks wasn't there yet. He was shooting commercials for
Whatever.
RBC. I think he was sponsored by, right? And I think he still is, but anyway. And he was doing commercials for that. So Ricky was just at the house by himself, and there's food everywhere. There's stuff everywhere. And there's Michelob.
There was.
Now, was that just delivered by Michelob?
Oh, I'm sure.
But, yeah.
That's cool.
Why wouldn't you drink it, right?
Yeah, it's free. Yeah.
Do you have something against Michelob?
No, I love Michelob. It's a low-calorie beer.
Yeah. So what else? Any other impressions from the Open?
I thought, I guess the thing Neil Hausch said this, would it be interesting to see if they just kept it at the same place every year? But I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of like that they move it around. I don't know if I'd want
it
it at
gets
Torrey.
stale, I think.
Yeah. But then what about Augusta?
But that's unique, right?
Yeah,
I mean, what
it's
other
true.
courses like that? But you would look at Torrey and it kind of looks like Pebble, right?
It did. I
You-
noticed
you know,
that. Yeah,
so
very
it's
much
like,
so.
yes, I mean, but I think I saw it's at Pinehurst in a couple of years.
Yeah, I love Pinehurst.
Shinnecock. It's at Country Club,
Country Club
Mass,
next year. Yeah, Oakmont.
or Brookline. Sorry.
Yeah, Brookline. Oakmont. I think it's at Oakmont, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like on the East Coast
2026.
for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Actually, it goes back to Pebble too. Quickly, maybe 2 years.
So do they?
I
Kinda,
did see the list. I just didn't.
I
don't
feel
know
like they
off the
have
top of
like
my head.
6 or 7 courses they're going to use, kind of like the British Open per se.
Well, I think Pebble Beach is always great. Shinnecock will be great. Oakmont, Pinehurst, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
will be great. Yeah, but you're right. I mean, it's kind of like they almost need a rota, like
Yeah.
they do.
But
in the
do you
British.
think they do, but they just don't tell us?
No, because they threw in Chambers Bay and they threw in Erin Hills and
Yeah.
they,
Erin Hills is awesome.
um,
Maybe they need
But-
to get like 5 or 6 and just maybe every 6 or 7 years throw in a random like a Chambers Bay and Erin Hills.
what's nice about, at least my
Mill
perspective,
Mill Creek.
Mill Creek.
Throw in Mill Creek.
um,
That'd be awesome.
at least my perspective, like on the West Coast, it's nice because if you have stuff to do all day and you get home at 5 or 6, you still have time to watch, especially on Thursday, Friday, right?
Mhm.
And and that's kind of cool because they can finish later. I wish they would have finished a little bit later yesterday.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry it didn't fit into your schedule.
No, but I mean, but it's nice when they do that, right?
Yeah.
It's not 6 o'clock like it would be if it's in
Right.
East Coast. So that part of it, I do find it attractive about that.
Mm-hmm.
But Pinehurst will be good. I mean, it's always a tough golf course. And Shinnecock, same thing. But that's they are not choosing any easy golf course.
No.
Put it that way.
No.
I think Chambers and that, like Erin Hills, maybe wasn't as difficult as they thought it was going to be.
The course was really pretty at Chambers Bay that
Yeah,
week.
but they're
It was like gray
or brown.
or brown. It was no
Yeah.
gray, wasn't it?
No,
Gray or brown. It was like
brown.
it wasn't green.
Well, but that's how they want it.
Yeah.
Because
Sure.
the ball's bouncing, running, it's hard to control.
Right.
That's what the U.S. Open wants.
Yeah.
So
Mike Davis is no longer.
no, he's a good guy too.
Is
I mean,
he?
I've known he actually refereed my last round of the Open.
We should have him on the podcast. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Actually, did you see that he's going to work for Fazio?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
He's going to work for Fazio 2 Design or something. Is that
Oh, that's cool. yeah.
Junior?
Yeah, whoever
So-
it is. Nice.
Yeah. So, but he's a good guy, and
So you still haven't answered that we can have him on the podcast.
yeah, we can shoot him a email or something.
Blow his
Reach out.
text him on his pager.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got that.
Yeah. I mean, he's a surgeon. He's a surgeon of a golf course. Well, I think that's good.
All right.
So thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow us and like us on Instagram, Facebook.
Thumbs up.
thumbs up. Whatever. What else are we on? Facebook, Instagram. Oh yeah, subscribe, rate, and review. Subscribe to Apple Podcasts, especially. It comes out earlier when you subscribe. You know that. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Things I'm learning technology-wise. I feel like we're going to get the Jason Day most improved technological
Award.
podcast. Yeah, the Zoolander. Like Derek Zoolander, Home for Little People or whatever it was. We watched Zoolander.
2 old guys that kind of look like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
know what they're doing.
Yeah, we're kind of now dangerous. Don't forget to like Ron Staley or Stanley. Sorry, Ron. Ron Staley's not a member. Ron Stanley is. Support us on our Patreon site, www.patreon.com/clubs and corks. That helps us to afford razors for Ben and many other things. So we appreciate it.
Thank
We'll be
you.
back
Yeah, it was fun.
next week, and keep living the dream.
Live the dream.